All right, welcome back, Outlaws. Hello. Today is Sunday, July the 21st, and this is our weekly roundup. So, ordinarily, we would be doing a live stream right now, but just because of the weather, some other issues, we didn't feel comfortable doing a live stream. We had rain today here in Arkansas. It was good to see. It's always good to see rain in July in Arkansas. We have been here now. This is our fourth summer that we have been in Arkansas. That is hard to believe.
Yeah.
So four summers ago, we were still cutting and dropping trees and clearing places around here. We had not even broke ground on our house. Camper was still off to the left from up here. A lot of stuff going on. But today we've come a long way. Now, I'm going to apologize if you hear a little bit of, some excitement in the background. Some people are playing with their, what did you call them?
Freedom toys.
Freedom toys. Yeah, freedom toys. So we're hearing some of that going on around us. I don't think it'll pick up on here, but I just wanted to let you know, don't worry, we're safe.
Yeah.
There's no problem. So what are we working on this week? Well, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I guess first and foremost, we've been working on trying to expand our goat lot. So we've been doing some fencing work. That's right. T-post setting. Managed to make some progress in a few areas there. We still need to get some additional fencing done. The goal is to try to almost double the size of our goat lot. That's what we're trying to do, is about double it. It's perfectly fine the way it is for maybe one or two, but we're up now to 5 goats.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of hard to believe too, that we've gone from none to 2 to 3 to 5.
Yeah.
So we're trying to increase the amount of forage for the goats, and that means, of course, fencing. And there's an old saying: if it won't stop water, it won't stop a goat. That's a little true. I mean, it's not completely, but it is a little true. And you certainly want to make sure the fencing is well secured. Exactly.
Electrified.
And electrified. That's a good thing too. So the goal is to not only keep the goats in, but it's also to keep predators out. And here on this property, we've told you before, we have bears. And if you've seen the short videos that we've done, you've seen them.
Yeah.
For a fact.
We have bears. There are mountain lions supposedly in the area. She's seen one.
I've seen one.
She's seen one.
Not too far from right here, actually.
We've seen bobcats. There are foxes and coyotes, raccoons, and other animals too. So lots of wildlife in this area, which is one of the reasons why we did choose this area. We did want something that had a lot of wildlife. We just didn't realize, of course, just how wild some of the wildlife could be.
We've had roadrunners on here.
Yeah,
I've seen a roadrunner. I thought it was a dinosaur. I've never seen a roadrunner in my life, so when I saw a dinosaur, I thought I got stuck at the prehistoric era. So when I went outside, I was like, oh my gosh, there's a velociraptor out there. I was really highly disappointed when I called my dad and he told me it wasn't.
This is not Jurassic Park.
No. So that's one area that we've been working on. Flooring. We've had to tear up some areas for flooring to do some light repair there. There's a few tiles that didn't quite seat just right whenever we had originally tiled the floor. Yeah. So you kind of learn from your mistakes there. Shiplap. We've been working on shiplap boards on the primary house. So that's been taking up some of our time. And of course, when we're not working on those projects and whenever the weather accommodates, where are we at?
Here.
What you see around you right now. So this looks a little bit different than what it did the last time that we recorded up here. In fact, the very first video that we shot up here, we were on the ground.
Sure were.
Remember? It hasn't been that long ago.
Not really.
So we were then telling you about our plans for getting this cabin built, and we have come a long way since then. I'm pleased to say we now have walls. They're not sheeted, but they're up. As of yesterday, we stood the last section for our walls for the exterior perimeter of the house, of the cabin. And we still have more work to do. We have been working on blocking, which you can see behind me. Alyssa has been doing a great job. Her granddad, Jonathan, Obviously, Angela and I, we've been working on this project too.
It's a little repetition of what we was doing.
Yeah, we set up a little assembly line to go through and, cut everything and start to get everything either nailed or screwed up.
Kind of a side note too, if you have somebody that's good at something and somebody else is good at something, having an assembly line going, it makes the work go so much faster.
It
If
does.
they're especially working at their talent.
Yep. We've been busy.
We're making videos of everything. Eventually, it'll be out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's lots of editing too.
So on top of the work we've been doing around here for fencing and flooring and shiplap boards, we've also been working down with your buddy, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
Who's your buddy?
Jackson.
Jackson. Jackson is her horse. He is an American Curly.
Yes.
He's about 15 and a half hands high.
Yep.
And really overall a lovable horse.
He loves attention. He's very lovable. Follows you around the lot.
Mostly because he wants food.
Yeah.
Well, even after I feed him, or even before I do, even any time of day I go down there.
He's good.
He's a really good horse.
She's itching to ride him, but she don't have anything to ride him with yet.
We still have to get some things set up for basically tack storage and things of that nature.
He
So
loves being brushed down. I take really good care of that.
So he gets brushed down at least every day, sometimes twice.
Twice a day.
So she's down there with him quite a bit. And of course, if you watch her channel, which is called Alley Cat, I believe Alley Cat 277 is the handle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you can just search her on Alley Cat, and that's ALLYCAT. The C is capital, so ALLY capital CAT. Alley Cat, and we'll post the link obviously in the description for you. She is up to how many subscribers?
Last time I checked, it was 299.
Wow, that's hard to believe. So she's almost at 300 subscribers.
Yes, sir.
And she still has a way to go to get to her first mile marker, which is 500 subscribers.
Yep.
But she is over halfway there. And if you check her out, you'll see that she does daily devotionals. And a lot of times, you'll get a sneak peek at who I'm talking about in the background, won't you?
Yes, he loves being in the videos. At first, he was a bit shy, but now he's pretty regularly in
Kind of like you in these videos, a little shy at first.
Yeah. I am a little shy at first. Definitely.
So she's been spending a lot of time down there with him whenever she has the chance. Usually every day, twice a day, checking on him, feeding him, making sure he's got plenty of water.
We just had a big hay delivery.
Yeah, we did. We got a big round bale stuck in there with him. The area that we cleared for him at first was only about a half of an acre. Truthfully, it's it's not a very large area, but we needed something pretty quick. And of course, the larger the pasture area, the more time it takes. That's just common sense, folks.
He's done a good job at clearing it out, though.
Yes, he did. It was very grown up. I mean, it was not like a half an acre, 3/4 of an acre of nothing. It was grown up. Yeah, there was a lot for him to forage on, and he did. He's almost like a brush goat. He's gone through and eaten a lot of it down. So
exterior defense, even you pointed out that time.
Yes. So we brought in a round bale for him. So he has been eating the round bale and doing a very good job of scattering hay and eating hay. But we're working on expanding the pasture area for Jackson. When we first got him, like I said, we needed something pretty quick, but we knew that we wanted to have a much larger pasture for him. So there's about 5 acres almost that has been already partitioned off by someone previously. There's exterior perimeter fencing, but not all of it is what I would say, horse tight. It really isn't. So there was only like 2 strands, of line. And so we need to add our 3rd strand of barbed wire, as well as go through and just make sure that there are no areas that could potentially, that he could come across, or that something else would easily come across into the lot with him.
And clear the outside part so we can take a 4-wheeler and drive around and check.
That's right. Checking your fence lines are very important. So whenever we cut out fencing, we don't just cut it out and get to the point where we can walk through. We try to add an additional 4 to 5 feet or more, depending on that side of it, to where we can have an easy path around the perimeter, either on the inside or out, depending on whose side it's on. just to make sure that we're able to go through and monitor those fence lines.
Yes.
Very important to do that, especially if you live in an area like we do, where you have changes in terrain. You're going
Deer.
uphill, downhill. You have other animals that could potentially come onto the property and knock the fence down. So there are lots of things that we have to kind of look out for. And making sure that everything there is clear in the clear for him is important. So we have managed to fence off about a little bit over half of that front line at this point, and we have one additional strand that has ran the entire perimeter, if you will, in the front part. But we still have to add 2 more strands.
We have to dispatch some.
Yes, which brings me to the next thing we can talk about: stinging insects. You got stung, didn't you?
Yes.
I got stung in my
You got
head.
stung, didn't you?
You got
Yes.
stung on your head too.
I got twice in the shoulder and one back here.
So we were working on doing the fencing for Jackson, and I have no idea. For those of you who haven't seen our other videos for beekeeping, we do have bees. We have 6 hives. We've been stung plenty of times with bees. Bees are not, honeybees are not typically very aggressive. There are obviously exceptions to that. If they're Africanized, for example, if they're queenless, if they're if they're in the dearth.
Nighttime.
Certain, right. Early in the morning, late at night, or I should say late in the evening before it gets dark. Overnight, anytime that you go around them and you disturb the hive.
Got attacked by a predator.
Just got attacked by a predator. We've experienced all these things, so we know what to look for there. But even still, bees really are not normally super aggressive.
No.
But this is a black stinging insect that is, again, it's black and it has some type of white markings on it. Can't get very close because they're super aggressive, and they love to attack your head. They go straight for like the scalp area. I was down there I was just walking in the area running some barbed wire, and I got hit in the head with one. It just like pinged me, and then just kept trying to keep pinging me. And after about 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever stings, I'm like, okay, I'm calling uncle on this one. I just couldn't handle it, and they were all in the scalp.
Painful.
They're very painful, yes. Very, very painful.
It hurts a couple of days afterwards.
Yep.
It does.
Feels like you've been hit by a baseball bat.
It really does. It actually, I mean, it was like the areas were bruised feeling afterwards is the way they felt.
Someone who got stung first. Someone who discovered them.
Yep.
Because I was over there walking the fence line. I was clearing out some stuff, and I was trying to move a tree out of the way so we could widen out the fence, because that was going to be the side where we could run a 4-wheeler through. And so I was trying to widen it out so we could run the fence lines like we wanted to do. So I was moving like a dead tree or something. It was just basically half dead. And I was knocking it over. And right when I did that, here comes all these big black bug-looking things with white on it. I didn't know what they were at first. I thought they were dirt divers, because we have dirt divers around here. And I didn't think anything of it at that point. But then they started to sting, and that's when they started hurting. And that's when I got out of there as quick as I could.
She started running, and then they started attacking me.
And they tried getting her, and they did end up succeeding in getting her a couple times. And then my dad went down there to attempt to exterminate, didn't you?
Yeah, so whenever I got stung, I had a can of wasp spray, and I just soaked the area completely, and they just walked on through it and flew off like it was nothing.
Yeah, they didn't react.
It didn't have any impact on them whatsoever. Now, it may have killed them off later, I don't know, obviously, but it was not an instant kill, clearly. And we're going to have to get down there and spend some time actually going through and doing something to get rid of them completely.
It's hard for us to go down there and work with them.
Yes.
Because they're right in an area where we need to be working at, and they're an issue.
And these are, whatever they are, they're ground nesters.
Yeah.
They do appear to bore and dig into the ground. They're in the wasp family of some type of a sub species there. I don't know what, but they're in the wasp family. And again, they have a very painful sting. I did look up, and here in Arkansas, there is an insect that does appear to match the description. But according to the notes that they provided on that particular, they said they're harmless or not very aggressive. Like, these are not unaggressive. These are very aggressive, whatever they are. I would say they're in the wasp family, at least they appear to be. They're not horseflies or anything like that. We do have those, obviously.
I've been bit by horses
Sure.
before. I mean, we got a horse down there too before we had a horse.
Yeah, and there are people with cattle in the area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's cows in the area. There's chicken farms in the area. We know what horseflies look like, what they feel like. I mean, I've killed a bunch of them. I know what they feel like too. So we all know what they feel like. We know they weren't a horsefly. We don't want a honeybee either because we know what honeybees look like, and we know how to identify them because we keep bees. Yep. And we know what they felt like. We've seen wasps and dirt divers. They're a whole lot bigger than the average wasp.
Yeah. So we will be working down there again this week and in the weeks ahead, trying to continue to expand out Jackson's footprint, give him a little bit more area for him to roam. So we're excited to be able to do that. We just need to be able to do it without getting attacked every time that we're walking through that particular area.
That's safety issue.
Yeah. So that obviously is something we've been working on, something we will continue to work on. We'll bring you some more updates as we continue to work in that space. Beyond that, obviously we have a couple other little other little things to talk about too.
Yes.
One of those are some channel updates with, of course, we've already talked about Alley Cat and her channel. So if you're able to, go visit Alyssa at her channel, subscribe, help her out. She would certainly appreciate it. Like and comment on our video, her videos. Obviously, she does a lot of daily devotional style stuff. Mm-hmm. She's done some game reviews. She plans to do more.
Music.
And music.
Yeah.
Just so you're curious, if you are curious about it, the channel, it's not just about daily devotionals, although she does do daily devotionals.
Primarily right now, yes.
Right. She also plans on doing things with music. She plans on doing stuff. She's already done some with game reviews. She's going to be doing some more in that space. It's kind of her creative outlet for her to just take and have fun with and talk about the things that interest her. She might talk about some of her homesteading related stuff from time to time too. Yeah. Obviously, I'm sure you'll hear her talk about Jackson some, most likely.
Just a little bit. Yeah, you'll probably see some of my shorts and stuff I've uploaded with him following me around and stuff.
Absolutely. And as we continue to advance in that space where we continue to kind of grow out our ability of, spending some time with him, doing some builds, things of that nature.
Crossover.
Yeah, there'll be some crossover content there too. But beyond that, we have another channel that we're also launching. This one, for people who are interested, who really enjoy kind of the daily devotional content, as well as some of the scripture reading, kind of like day in the life of kind of content. Angela and Alyssa are both going to start their own channel called the Outlaw Gals.
Yes.
So, and I'll let them tell you about the Outlaw Gals.
After you?
After you.
You go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just want to do like devotions, daily devotions, a little bit of other little things too. Just me and her together, kind of like
mother-daughter stuff.
Yeah, mother-daughter stuff, like going out and about, kind of doing things. And some of this stuff will cross over to the other channels too, but it's going to be mostly like me and her and our viewpoint on some things.
Yeah, we're going to be primarily doing a lot of daily devotionals and stuff, and like Bible study kind of type of stuff, and scripture readings. And just something we've been talking about wanting to do for a little while. Me and my mom have been. And it's something that we spoke about. Something that we could have connected to the Homesteading Outlaws, but not directly. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely something we've been wanting to talk about for a little while now. And it's something that's finally now coming into light. Mm-hmm. So the Outlaw Gals is what we're calling it. And that's where you can see a lot of the devotional side base, a lot of the scripture-based stuff of the Homesteading Outlaw side of stuff. If you want to see that kind of stuff, you come to the Outlaw Gals, and that would be where you'll see the devotionals.
Yeah. So why have more than one channel, especially whenever we're a fledgling channel already? Well, really the goal is to kind of get our content somewhat, as you're growing a channel, obviously you're going to have viewers who are interested in certain topics.
Definitely.
And people are interested in homesteading, then you come to Homesteading Outlaws. We're going to talk about how to build a cabin, how to build a house. We're going to be talking about things here on the homestead, water collection, rainwater collection, harvesting, solar panels, the things that we've experienced as a family. So all these things are going to fall under Homesteading Outlaws.
But we're still going to talk about Jesus.
We're still going to talk about Jesus. We're still going to talk about our faith. This channel is devoted towards, we've talked about it before, faith, family, freedom, obviously homesteading, all of these things are going to fall under the general umbrella of Homesteading Outlaws. That doesn't change. Mm-hmm. You may still see some scriptural content and devotional content here. Mm-hmm. You might. So that's entirely possible. But what we would like to do is to offer to viewers who really enjoy the scripture reading, the daily devotional, the stuff that she does and that she does, and maybe hear it from, again, a mother-daughter perspective. You know, for them to collaborate on those types of things together, it will give them the freedom to be able to do that with a channel that is basically devoted to that. But that's not all we're going to be talking about either. So it's not only scripture reading, not only, you know, those types of
Maybe
things.
some thrift shopping.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Thrift shopping and
maybe
things, sure.
Maybe go to Goodwill or something, and we're just thrift shopping. We're just talking about good finds and stuff. And
Absolutely.
What's a review on
for
the iced
decent
coffee at this spot?
Or like, or like checking out coffee
Yes.
spots, because you know we love our coffee, we love our Jesus. You know, that's kind of what we girls live off of, right?
So, and we will be offering, or we will be in the future have another channel that we're going to do too, which is actually going to be Homesteading Outlaws with a Z. That's going to be kind of like our comical stuff, you know, the funny things that we do, outtakes, stuff like that. You know, and again, it's because different people on YouTube, not everyone's after the same thing, and it's something that really it's kind of hard for us to kind of navigate because we're really new to this space. But we've been recording videos for the plans of Homesteading Outlaws for the last few years, and we have a lot of back content. I've tried to work on clearing some of that, but there still is a lot that we've got to work through.
There's a lot.
And a lot of this stuff is just funny stuff that we've done, you know, just having fun. And obviously, it's going to be on here too. But, you know, really, we wanted a space where we could just kind of talk about kind of the crazier side of homesteading, you know, the things that we've done there, you know, that just kind of pop up.
The biggest clown on the homestead, and that's Jonathan.
Yes, our son certainly is a clown. He's down right now, as a matter of fact, helping his grandparents with a water issue. So that's the reason why he's not here right now.
He's really good at that kind of stuff. He's very, very smart.
So we try to work. You know, we let everyone kind of work to their abilities. If somebody is capable of doing something, then let them. You know, Alyssa's become great at doing installations, and
with the oatmeal cookie and iced coffee.
Oatmeal cookie and iced coffee. I have to bribe her to do installation.
I mean, like, I'm getting food, I'm getting iced coffee, and as long as I got my music, I'm pretty good. I love it. It's just something I enjoy doing. Like the blocking and stuff is something I also don't mind doing and enjoy pretty good. It's just something I have earbuds in, listen to something, and just do.
Yep. So we will be doing some branch outs in these other areas a little bit. So look for that content. I'll post links so that you can reach those pages.
We're kind of
working. Yeah, it's a work in progress. Yeah. You know, it's a work in progress, and like anything, you know, it takes time to get it going. But it will be something that will be on the horizon. We're also going to start a little segment on our weekly updates too, called the Outlaw of the Week. You want to talk about the Outlaw of the Week?
Somebody's coming up. Okay, well, the Outlaw of the Week is something we're just discussing up here. Kind of my dad's been pondering it for a little while, and so has my mom. Something that we kind of all just came up with and I thought would be a really good idea. And so we were just talking about how we have so many critters around here that we have on the farm. And we would love to share those critters with y'all.
We want you to meet them.
We want you guys to meet them.
You hear us talk about them, but you know, like, who's that?
And actually get a little personal connection with them. You get to see what they are, their personalities. And we're going to have like little clips about each individual critter we have on the farm, to goats to chickens to Jackson. Just talking about each animal we have in particular on the homestead. And we're going to be bringing that up once a week, each critter that we choose. And that's going to be our Outlaw of the Week.
Yep. So today we have a special guest who will be joining us at the end of the video. So stay tuned to see who the special guest is. All right. So one of the things we have, one of the future outlaws will be Gabby. Gabby is a dwarf Nigerian dwarf, goat. We got her a year ago now, a little bit over a year.
She's about 2 years old.
Well, the time we got her, she was 2, so she's about 3 now.
She's about 3 now.
She is potentially pregnant.
Yes.
And that means that probably this fall we will most likely have another kidding.
Either 1 or 2.
No kidding.
She was gifted to us.
Yes. She was gifted to us.
And she's been a blessing to us. She's been a great goat. and she's been awesome. So
We don't
can't wait to
mind
share it with you
taking-
guys.
We don't mind taking in animals that people don't want anymore.
If it's possible.
If we're able to, and it's applicable.
There are limits to that.
If
Please.
it's applicable and we're able to do
Yes.
so. So we have, the means to do so.
Yes.
We will. Is it one of those flies?
I think that was a hoverfly.
Yeah, it was a hoverfly. Another thing we didn't know about here until we moved here.
Yes.
Something we didn't know about.
So, other exciting things on the homestead, things we're probably doing in the weeks ahead. You, I think, are going to be participating in a pageant.
Yes, I will be participating in a county pageant,
Mhm.
and it's something I've been doing for the past 4 years. I didn't start doing pageant stuff until we moved out here, actually.
Yep.
So I've been doing it for about 4 years, I would say, about now.
Yep.
And so I'll be participating in another pageant this coming fall, roughly.
Next month.
Be next
Mhm.
month. Yeah.
Yep.
Next month, I'll be doing another pageant, and my mom
Might
might
be.
be joining me
I might be
for the
doing
first time.
Yeah.
Me and her doing it together. This is gonna be her first pageant. It's your first pageant,
it.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's been involved with other things when she was younger. I know, but
Yeah, she used
she's
to do
involved
dance.
with dance.
Yeah, predominantly. Yep.
So she has experience on the stage.
Mhm.
So she's going to take that spotlight.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, I would.
So those are things we'll be working on or seeing, some updates on in the weeks ahead. Updates on the channel in general. So we've been trying to get into a little bit of a cadence on dates and times for live streams.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a challenge.
Mhm.
On the homestead, we are very, 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 did I say very enough, busy?
We're very busy.
I know everyone's busy in life, but here, we balance, the normal stuff that people do on top of what we do here.
And it can be difficult.
And it can be, so they have homeschooling, so they still have school to work on.
Mhm.
I still have a full-time job. Angela's a full-time, stay-at-home mom, and that's a full-time job. And then on
Taking
top
care
of
the
that,
farm.
we have goats and chickens and bees and a horse and build projects, and the list goes on and on and on and on. So we don't. The one thing that I don't get enough of around here is sleep.
I don't think any of us really do.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Mhm.
But beyond that, we enjoy what we do.
Mhm.
And so trying to figure out the right time for recording like we're doing now is a
Exactly.
challenge.
Finding balance.
Dealing with the weather.
Yeah, the weather's been an issue
Yep.
today.
I mean,
It was raining this morning.
rain this morning, the sun is kind of out, which is why I'm squinting a little bit right now.
Yeah, I've been doing that too.
It's
so-
either that or wear my shades.
Yeah, it's best weather tonight, Dad.
Because your future is so bright.
I might need to keep these on, I'll be honest, because my right eye is really kind of squinting quite a bit. But what we're going to do is starting next Sunday, if all goes well, at 4 o'clock Central Time, that'll be 5 o'clock on the East Coast, 3 o'clock Mountain, 2 o'clock Pacific. There's all the 4 time zones here in the U.S. That doesn't, of course, include the other ones out in Hawaii or Canada or Alaska. But here in the U.S., those 4 time zones, we will be doing a live stream on Sundays, again, 4 p.m. Central Time. So by all means, please stop in, say hello, check on us, make sure that we're still sane, that we haven't completely lost our hair, that all of my hair has not turned gray or fallen
I
out.
had a haircut, Dad, but I don't have it
Yes,
all the time.
you still have it all gone. So
Kept some of mine.
yes,
Yeah, she kept rolling for me. That's
yeah. I got a haircut recently because I needed one. So I got them all cut. Dad jokes, gotta love them. But
I gave you your haircut.
so live streams will be Sundays at 4 p.m. Central Time. That's the plan, at least. Now we are also trying to figure out doing a midweek update.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one is still kind of iffy right now. And the reason is we're just trying to kind of bounce or work around the schedules of other YouTubers in the area.
Yes.
We do share, some of the similar audiences, and we want to be mindful of that.
Yep.
So, we try to be conscientious if we can to not step
Plus, we
on.
do help moderate.
And we do help
channels.
moderate some of these other channels. That's true. That's exactly right. So we're trying to figure out the exact time to be able to do this. None of these are written in stone. These are all tentative. So if you're watching this at some point in the future, just check out our channel, and obviously you can see when we will be doing these. But that's
You'll
the
see
plan.
updates along the way.
Yes, that's the plan.
Updates.
Let's see. Changing gears a little bit. We got a post office box.
Yes.
Yes, we do. I will have that in the description. I've added it to some of our other videos as well, and all of our videos going forward, both on our channel, Alley Cat, the up and coming, Outlaw Gals, all of these, we will have the post office box address available there. So if you want to send us some mail, send us a letter, send us, whatever, just to say.
Socks.
Socks. Socks. The fuzzy socks.
I love fuzzy socks. Give me purple fuzzy socks.
Okay.
It's a requirement.
So anyone who wants to send Alley Cat some purple fuzzy socks, Post Office Box 5, Booneville, Arkansas 72927. That is the post office box. That's the address to the P.O. Box for all of these channels.
We're going to share it.
Yes.
For sure, P.O. Box.
Yes, it will be.
Each other so much.
Well, and obviously we're not expecting a ton of stuff through there. We know that, but it's a lot more convenient, to if somebody wants to send us a package or send us something to do it that way. That's perfectly fine. And if you do, we will obviously talk about it here on the live stream.
Yeah, we'll do a mail call.
And we'll appreciate everything you do.
Yes.
That means a lot to us.
Absolutely.
Because we love engaging with y'all and seeing what y'all have to say and what y'all give.
And if you have questions, as you come across any of our content, if you have questions, add them to the to the comments.
Comment section down below.
We are glad to engage with you in that space. Certainly.
Definitely.
Yep.
So that is something that you can help support us with too. Another thing would be an Amazon wish list. Some people say, "Hey, would you like anything? You need anything?" We always need things on the homestead. So we have created Amazon wish lists for Alley Cat for her channel, as well as for Homesteading Outlaws. Now we do have a lot of projects up and coming, in the Homesteading Outlaw for the Outlaw cabin. So some of the items that are there on that wish list are related to the cabin
and fencing.
Yeah. So if you happen to come across anything on there that looks like it's probably, why do they have lights on here? Actual
Sink,
lights, things of that nature. That's the reason. That's all part of the cabin build. These are all things that we've kind of picked out. Obviously, if you want to say something else, that's perfectly fine too.
It's your personal decision.
But these are just things that we've added to our wish list. Just some things that would potentially help us out on some of these projects, because it gets very expensive to do these things, and money is tight. I'm not going to lie, it is very tight, and our time is too, and yours is as well. We realize that, but if you are in a position to where you would like to bless us, we will certainly appreciate it, and we're not going to deny that blessing for you or us.
No.
So with that said, I guess the only other things that we really haven't talked about would just be kind of where we are with our cabin build, right?
Yeah.
We kind of gave you a little bit of a sneak peek earlier. We have walls. It's a big deal to us. We've gone from nothing here to subflooring, completely framed out and done, and subflooring down. Walls are now framed up. These are 2x8 studs. So in case you're wondering why these things look a little bit bigger than most studs for most structures, they're 2x8x10s. The walls are going to be 10 feet tall, and that means the ceilings are going to be 10 feet tall. That's exactly right.
A small structure, so to make it look bigger inside.
That's it. The goal was to basically take advantage of as much vertical space as we could, so the way of doing that is to go up higher. So we decided to go 2x8x10s. We've completed the blocking now for about half, roughly, almost, of the cabin. We still have the remaining part to do, so we'll be using the remaining 2x8x10s to complete that part today, and then this week we're going to start working on sheathing the exterior envelope of the home, of the cabin rather, which is by far going to be predominantly, first and foremost, an office place for me to be able to use.
And storage.
And secondly, for storage. That's right.
And also YouTube.
And YouTube. Yeah. So the office will double as a YouTube studio for us to be able to record videos, so that you won't have to look at me squinting anymore. Because it's challenging to squint at a camera for a half an hour or more. So that is something that will be coming very soon. And hopefully this week we can get the sheeting done, and then from there we'll be working on the interior walls. At that point, we are going to be adding some exterior roofing on each side to create some areas for a garage for us to be able to actually work on things, because we don't have a garage right now. Every time that we work on a vehicle, we're doing it out in the open.
Yes,
And
the tractor.
And the tractor out in the open, or the four-wheelers out in the open, or a lawnmower, or a weed eater, or a chainsaw, or you fill in the blank. It's all out in the open right now, and that's a challenge, truthfully. So we are working on trying to get some covered space to where we can do that a little bit more. And yes, there are other options. We know that. But there are really a lot of reasons why we have gone down the path that we have. I would love to talk about that, but that's something I think we better reserve for another video in the future. So, with that said, I think we have covered everything except for our outlaw of the week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count down from 5 to 1, and when you see my last finger fall, the outlaw of the week will magically appear before you.
Not for us. We don't have the scrummage.
Yeah, we have to actually do a little bit of work for it. But for you, it'll be a countdown. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! So this is the newest outlaw. This is our outlaw of the week. His name is Rex.
Outlaw Rex.
Outlaw Rex. So Rex showed up on his own about 2 weeks ago? About 2 weeks ago, yeah. I was outside working on the cabin and with my father-in-law, and I saw a small white and black object on the ground not too far from us, kind of peeking around one of the campers, and I'm like, what is that? And called him over to me, and sure enough, he was friendly, little booger. He just came on up like he knew us and was just really happy to see us. I thought maybe that he got loose from someone. We do have some people who live around here. He looked a little bit on the thirsty side, so I asked for Jonathan to go and get him some water and some food. Brought it back up here, and he tore into the water, very aggressively, so he was very thirsty. And he was also hungry, so I'm like, well, that doesn't seem like he's probably got away, or at least he didn't just wander off today. And he's made no effort to try to leave. We did post on the community bulletin boards if anyone was missing a dog in this area to reach out to us, and no one did.
Or even reached out to local neighbors and said, hey, do you know anything?
Because we want to make sure he got back to his home if he was somebody else's dog.
So a couple months back, we were working on a project, and another stray had wandered up, and that stray at that time had a collar. Rex had no collar. And whenever the other dog showed up with a collar, we knew immediately, okay, this probably belongs to somebody, but couldn't figure out, we ended up doing basically the same thing. We posted on some community boards, posted onto our regular Facebook pages and things, and reached out to the neighbors and found his owner, and they came and got him.
Yeah.
So we tried the exact same thing again this time, and it's been over 2 weeks ago now, and so far nobody has stepped up.
Claimed him.
We don't know how he come on this property, truthfully. In this area, though, unfortunately, there are a number of people who will just drop off an animal that they no longer want. They will take them out of the country and just abandon them. And that is sad. Obviously, if you have a pet, you have taken upon yourself that burden and responsibility of caring for that animal. And it is your responsibility that if you're no longer in a position to continue to care for that animal, to find a better home for that animal. I don't know that that's what happened here. There's no way for us to know. But we do know, unfortunately, that is a common occurrence. So that's what we think could have happened here in this situation. Can't prove it. We don't know. We just know that he did wander up, and we have offered him a home, and he has made absolutely zero effort to try and to leave. The only reason why we do walk him around here on a leash. But even before we were doing that, we would walk him without a leash.
You have to give him a chance if he did run away from home that he
Well, he can
He
return.
can return.
We tried that. He made no effort.
He stuck around.
The only thing that we've noticed is that once we decided, okay, it looks like he's stuck here for now, we did put him on a leash so that whenever we walk him outside, that we could be responsible
He
for him.
barks after rabbits.
He chases
He
rabbits.
loves rabbits.
And we have a lot of rabbits around
We
here.
do.
Now, it's entirely possible that he got away from his owner as a result of doing
We're
something
chasing
like
us,
that.
like
We
a
don't know. But for right now, he's every bit a part of the family now. If obviously if the actual owner were to step up, then that would be a different situation. But they would need to provide us some level of proof that he did belong to them.
Like
Obviously,
or something.
right? Something to prove that it was their dog, and exactly where it got away from them and all the other kind of details that they would only they would know. So, but he's been a very friendly part of the family. He's really nice. Loves people a lot.
Loves people a lot.
Loves attention.
Gets along with our other dogs great.
So we have several other dogs, and we were kind of concerned, given that he had not really been raised around them since he was born or anything of that nature, if they would accept him, and they have pretty well all accepted him without any real issue, which is great.
A big Anatolian Shepherd and him plays together, and that's kind of funny.
Yes.
It's like the odd
Fair
couple
example of a
playing.
shepherd.
Yes.
She gets on the ground for him to be able to play with her. It's so sweet.
It is. So Rex is our first ever Outlaw of the Week, since he's the newest addition to the homestead. He's our Outlaw of the Week. But stay tuned, because what we were going to do is we're going to feature one Outlaw of the Week, which will come from our property. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about them. Introduce them to you, and of course you to them, so that hopefully you will be able to associate who they are whenever we call their name. You'll know what we're talking about.
Oh, I know what that animal looks like.
Yes. So if we talk about Jackson, you'll know what Jackson is. We'll talk about Gabby. You'll know who Gabby is. And, all the rest of them, Lucky and Babs, and, all the other animals around the homestead. We're going to let you meet them.
The reason why they got their names, too, which is also a story unto itself.
He named Rex.
Yes.
He said he just looked like a Rex.
He does. He does look like a
Outlaw
Rex.
fits him very well.
Yes, it does.
Then he get a little hat.
So that's everything that we really have to talk about today. Again, today is July the 21st. It's Sunday.
Yep.
So next Sunday, which would be July the 28th, will be live. That is our intention. Anyways, I will go ahead and post that link onto our community page. That way you'll be able to see it as an upcoming live stream. And that going forward, you can set your reminders for Sundays at 4 o'clock Central, so that you can join us for our live streams. They may not always be out here in the cabin.
It could be in many places.
Right. They could be in different locations. It really depends.
On weather.
Weather is a factor.
Big one.
Here in Arkansas, if you don't like the weather,
Just
wait a few minutes, it'll change. It's perfectly fine. So the reason why we are recording today instead of live. I did not want to be in a position to where if we were live,
it'd be raining.
That it started raining in the middle of it and we got to scrap the live stream in the middle of rain, because you just don't know.
You don't know.
It was raining.
And radar here, it's not always good. It's not always right.
Mine shows different than yours.
You want to tell that one story?
Well, I think I've mentioned this before, but we were in town a couple years ago doing some work in our storage unit, and it started getting dark. I mean, it was middle of the day.
I was checking my phone.
90 degrees, I think it was, or something like that. It was warm, great weather, awesome. Clouds start coming through, temperature starts dropping. Clearly,
there's a storm.
Storm's coming. Check the weather app. The weather app, okay? Nothing. Nothing on there in this area. I mean, it was still working because it showed little green blips in other areas. But the Weather Channel's own app, nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
No clue what was going on that particular day, but it showed nothing. Okay, well, we continue working, thinking, well, maybe it's just passing clouds, because you see that a lot here.
Yes, you do.
With clouds, it gets overcast, 15 minutes, sun's back out. So we're used to that.
Sure.
About that time, sky opens up. Torrential downpours. We're starting to, we have all of our belongings out of the storage unit. We're reorganizing them, trying to get them back inside, and could not get them back inside quick enough. About that time, ice balls from heaven began to fall.
They were golf ball size.
Yes, it began to hail. And it did so for about 15 or more minutes, while we were waiting for the storm to pass.
We're just chilling in there, just talking.
Just standing inside the storage building, just waiting. Weather app, nothing. Weather channel, nothing. Pulls up hers on the Associated Press with their weather app. Yeah, storm all around. Why?
Like, why wasn't it working on the normal weather app that everybody has? Like,
No clue.
Understand
No
why
clue.
they was doing it, but that happened.
After the storm passed, I think at some point eventually it refreshed and showed, where the storm had passed. I don't know. Afterwards,
An hour later.
yeah, but during that whole thing, there was like nothing showing. So again, you can't always rely on the forecast. You can't always rely on the radar indications, things of that nature. We have been on the back of this property and it started raining.
Yeah.
And the sun was shining here.
Yeah.
We'll be back there. We'll be like, hey, Mom, what's going on? Is it raining up there? And she'd be like, no, it's sunny up here. What are you talking about? Why are y'all coming back up from working? Like, well, because there's downpour.
It's
back.
raining.
It's raining. We're being soaked. We need to get back to the house. And she's like, it's sunny up here.
Yeah. And literally we would just, ride from the back of the property to the front. Yep. Sun, about like it is right now.
Just like this.
And like, why? How?
Yeah.
No
If you
clue.
want it to rain, go for a walk.
We have seen that before, and we have done that. There were no more rain. Rain gone. Rain moved away.
Nice.
Radar all good and clear.
It looked
We go
nice.
for a walk in the back property. Starts raining.
Just start raining.
Why? Don't know. It's like the Twilight Zone.
It's like a running joke. If you want it to rain, just go for a walk.
Let's go for a walk. So, but that's all we got for you today. Thank you for joining us. Say hello to Rex, and please put if you made this far in the video, why don't you go ahead and put Rex in the comments so we know
Hashtag Rex.
That way we know that you made it to the very end of the video. We're gonna be doing some so in our next live stream between now and then, we're probably going to try to record some product reviews of some things that we've got off of a recent order that we did, and we might give something away in our next live stream from those reviews. So stay tuned, join us, tell a friend, share us, like us, subscribe, obviously. Comment, please, below. Let us know
what y'all have to say.
Yes.
absolutely any questions. Hashtag Rex so we know you made it, and we're going to see you next week. So for now, this is Homesteading Outlaws, and we're signing out. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.